Hey there, and welcome to my lazy review of the new Denzel Washington film, The Equalizer 3, which, according to marketing, is the end of the saga, but that's been said before. We'll see what happens, right? Now, as 2023 is, I have not been looking forward to a lot of films this year, and damn sure a film like this, part of me was looking forward to it, but also part of me was kind of skeptical because, well, Denzel Washington is pushing 70 years old. It's been 5 years since Equalizer 2, and let's be honest, boys and girls, so many friggin' trilogies, part 3 doesn't always turn out that well. But beforehand, let's see. I usually do my drum roll. I'm not gonna do a drum roll this time because Jack Daniels with honey, because goddamn, when we're talking about Denzel Washington, you don't pull out the cheap shit, right?
Goddamn right.
So let's begin with some good old Jack and honey and some Coke Zero. And first off, I have to talk about my 3 lazy questions. First question is, did I like this film? I mean, that's why we're here for, right? Number 2 is, would I recommend you see this film? But number 3, and most importantly to me, is that, is this film worth your money? Let's find out. I'm not going to do a drum roll, just real quick. I mean, you know how it goes, but it's habit, right? Okay. Mm, excellent.
Delicioso.
If you are ready, I have an intro that I hope you enjoy, and let's sit back and talk about the end of the Equalizer saga. Let's go. I could drink this all day. So, the film starts off in Italy, and we're catching up with our favorite character, ex-CIA badass Robert McCall. And within the first 5 minutes, he's on a mission, and he's here to do 2 things.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Much like the first 2 films, the action sequence is all of 45 seconds, and Robert is brutal, and you almost feel bad for the bad guys by what he does to them, and shocker to nobody, it's not even a friggin' contest. So, as he's leaving, he lets his guard down because a kid pulls a gun on him, and he's like, "Kid, just get out of here, go away." And then, out of nowhere, the little fucker shoots him in the back.
Shot in the back, very sad.
Robert can't go to a hospital, so eventually he passes out behind the wheel of his car, and a local cop sees him and then brings him back to this small town where this local doctor named Enzo.
Stop stereotyping guys named Enzo. Unless, of course, they're good stereotypes.
Tends to his wounds, and now Robert is going through his whole Zen phase where he's happy, he's found inner peace, things are going fantastic, but as these kind of characters and this kind of storyline goes, some local bad guys, and it's basically a local Italian mafia, they start fucking with this small town and then messing with Robert. And you see in the trailers, he gives these guys a warning, and as bad guys do, they won't listen. He even kind of like basically pleads with them to stop. I don't want to do this.
You and your friends do it somewhere else.
You warning me?
I'm preparing you.
They don't want to listen, and now all I kept thinking was one thing.
You're all going to die.
And of course, as these things happen, these idiots have a boss, and now their boss is pissed off. He wants to come at Robert, and truth be told, I don't want to talk about any more because that's pretty much it. And I'm not complaining by any means, but the story in terms of what's going on is kind of thin in a sense. But let's talk about getting back to my 3 questions. Number 1 off the bat is, did I like this film? And truth be told, I didn't like this film because I fucking loved it.
That's the median nerve that I'm compressing. That's a level 3. If it goes to level 4, you will shit on yourself.
I loved it because it kept the tone of the first 2 films and the way it treats its main character of Robert McCall. Because yes, Denzel is pushing 70 and Robert McCall is technically retired, and we've seen how other lesser franchises have treated their main characters and also their main male characters.
That's why I hate all men.
This doesn't happen here. And just small things where he still has like this OCD thing where, he sits down and he dunks his tea a certain way, he unfolds napkins a certain way. It makes him very meticulous, but he has a routine. Also, this is this running thing with the first 2 films, and more so even in this film, where he's questioned of the fact that, are you a good man? And honestly, he struggles with that. He's not sure if he's a good man. He believes he's doing the right thing, but Robert McCall has had a very shady past, and it's, been this good thing with all 3 films where we don't get too much backstory, and honestly, we don't need too much backstory. So I love that part. In the action, well, let's talk about me getting into number 2 of would I recommend that you see this film. Obviously, by the way I'm glowing about how great this film is, I would recommend you see this film. However, I have to say this because this is 2023. This is the days of TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram and things like that.
People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
So my point is that a lot of people out there, damn sure a younger generation, may not appreciate and understand the pacing of this film. Best believe when the first Equalizer came out, it was around the same time as the first John Wick. And of course, as every John Wick film has done, it's gotten progressively, just like the Fast and Furious franchise, more over the top and more extravagant, which is fine. The Equalizer, all three films, have stayed the exact same pacing. Now, with John Wick 4, and trust me, I love John Wick 4 for exactly what it was. It was 5 minutes of dialogue and then 15 minutes of action. 5-6 minutes of dialogue, 20 minutes of action. Fantastic. With a film like Equalizer 3, and I was timing it, boys and girls, after the first 45 seconds of action, because it's quick, efficient, he's killing guys, he's not there to fuck around, then we have an hour of dialogue. And during that hour, you have to understand the pacing, the tone of where Denzel's character, Robert McCall, is, and this whole world that he's creating and he wants to be a part of. When the bad guys come, again, another 90-second action sequence and then 20 minutes of dialogue. And not everybody will appreciate the tone and pacing of a film like this. I did because I loved the first two films. So I would damn sure recommend this film, but I gotta admit that in a Fast and Furious generation, it's not gonna work for everybody, but it damn sure works for me.
I like this place. You can't take that from me.
And on to my third and favorite question of, do I think this movie is worth your hard-earned money? Well, what do you think?
Duh!
This film, by all accounts, is worth a full theater ticket, and truth be told, I can't wait to see it a second time. And eventually, when it comes on digital, I'm gonna buy it on digital and watch all three in a row. And yeah, I just want to say that in terms of a trilogy, this Equalizer series will go down in my top 10 favorite trilogies of all time. I think all three films, because of Denzel, are perfectly acted and have a great tone to them. And honestly, I think that this is the perfect end to a trilogy. Much like how Indiana Jones should have ended at a trilogy, I don't want to see any more Robert McCall.
You're insane.
We can joke all day about Denzel and him being ageless and stuff and looking fantastic, but truth be told, the man is getting up there. He is going to be 70 years old, and I don't need a bunch of prequels, a bunch of spin-offs. I don't need to see Denzel play Robert McCall at 80 years old. You know, sometimes certain characters, just let them be, let their trilogy be told, and let them ride off into the sunset and have a happy ending. And that's all I can say about it. It was freaking fantastic. So for Denzel and the Equalizer, I'm going to freaking pour a shot and give this a rating system. Oh yeah, this would probably help out. 1 second. So now, how do I rate Equalizer 3 in terms of a film? I'm going to say, simply put, Equalizer 3 starring Denzel Washington, great end to a saga, and this film, by all accounts, is very simply put a action masterpiece. Let's go. Oh yeah. So that's pretty much it, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. That's all I can say. Go check out Equalizer 3. Oh, real quick, I know I should have talked about this, but Dakota Fanning is in the film, and it's pretty cool seeing her and Denzel together after Man on Fire. Alright, so let me check my watch because I'm always freaking busy, and yeah, I'm gonna edit this stuff, and okay, let's grab Bender.
This calls for a drink.
Oh yeah, one last thing.
It's called a catchphrase.
Smooth and brown, just like Denzel. I'm heading back to work.